Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, an all-time sweep week. Bryce Harper's back. Are the Yankees back? It's All-Stars only today. An absolutely massive episode. I said all-stars only. All JM team. Myself, Trevor, Zach is behind the wheels of steel today.
Passing.
Passing button early.
Why?
You want to tell us, Zach?
I think you guys have something to talk about.
Oh, we knew this already.
Julio Rodríguez is getting paid. Trevor, right off the rip, we get some breaking news right before we get started. Part of the reason we're running hot today on Talkin' Baseball, presented by SeatGeek. Code TALKIN, $20 off your first one. Julio, the kid, Trev, it just breaks. Passan tweets it. I should give the, because it was the other guy at ESPN who actually had the kind of official tweet, and Passan shared it along. Jesse Sanchez, MLB, had it first. So another young stud gets locked up. Trev, I want to know how you're doing, but dude, I know every time this happens, except I guess those Braves deal when Albies got locked up for like $35 million. But when I see a dude with 210 guaranteed over 14 and the ability to get to $400 million, I mean, that's...
The details are out already?
So we don't have all the details. We just know, I'm assuming there's escalators and options. If Julio, I'm assuming if he becomes the MVP eligible player he's going to be, that he has escalators in there, but it's 210 guaranteed over 14 with the ability to grow well over 400 million with player and team options. So right off the rip today, a little, hey, how are you? A little sip of your coffee, and Julio Rodríguez is now locked up to be the Mariners star for the next decade and a half. So, I mean, Trev, I'll kick it to you first on All-Stars Only up. Where's your brain jump to?
I think it's incredible for the organization. I think it's incredible for Julio. I mean, we are 420 at bats in. Nice.
Wow.
The guy has performed. He's brought this team from the dead. They were dead. Okay, I don't give a shit what anybody says. These guys were dead. Mike Trout buried them. When Julio started going, this team started going. And yes, many other good players on that team. Ty France kept them afloat early on in the year. Julio doing what Julio's done this year has provided a spark, a jolt, obviously the on-field stuff too. He's the face of the franchise going forward. There's no doubt about it. Now, is there risks involved for the organization? Of course. That's a long time to have somebody locked up, and you got to keep this guy motivated throughout his entire contract, but seems like he's a guy that doesn't necessarily need that. The way he plays the game. I mean, people have already started, talking about the comparisons to that bad man up there in Seattle, Ken Griffey Jr. So, like, when you're talking comparisons, real deal comparisons to him, and that's sort of like an unfair thing to put on a young guy's shoulders. Like, Ken Griffey Jr. is like, I mean, I don't know if the young kids understand what he meant to our generation, but like, he was the guy. Like, everyone wanted to be Ken Griffey Jr. I don't know if Julio's going to have that sort of national impact. I sure hope he does. It'd be awesome. But this is hell yeah, man. Fuck yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick up for where you left off. Hell yes. Like, dude, this kid's 21, and like you said, 420 at bats. Nice in its own way. Also unreal in its own way. Like, think about how old school baseball used to be. Like, you're a kid, you haven't, what have you actually proven? What do you got, one decent season? It's like, no, baseball's gotten smart that this dude is going to be a stud. His most valuable years are coming in probably the next 8 years or so. So let's lock this guy up the right way. And man, he really is a superstar. He's got 20 homers and 23 steals, Trev. Now, I think he's going to get 30 stolen bases. He'd have to get awfully hot. And he homered the other night. If he could put up a 30-30 as a rookie, I mean, that's doesn't matter at all. But if he can, I stumbled into this. I did Wake and Jake yesterday, and I kind of didn't know the topic. There's obviously baseball's hot in the streets. I want to focus on baseball. Not time for fantasy football or any of that stuff yet. And where I kind of jumped to is like Mike Trout has kind of been the faceless man of baseball. Like, he's an all-time great, but he's not the sexy face of baseball that baseball's been looking for. Aaron Judge chasing the home run record. He's larger than life in New York City. There's something there with Judgy. Shohei Ohtani is kind of our international superstar of superstars, like international man of mystery. We've never seen anything like this before. And then the third head of the dragon was Fernando Tatis Jr. Like, he was as cool as it gets. Swag naturally oozing off of him in the way that swag was originally supposed to be. That now that kind of got tainted a little bit. And baseball's so proud in the Dominican and the Caribbean and in that part of the world that Tatis going down was a huge blow. And looking around the league, I was like, who's next? And hey, I hope Tatis comes back, he balls out, and it just becomes a weird asterisk in his history. But Julio Rodríguez is the guy. He's 21 years old. I mean, I said it early on, like, a good-looking dude. You could get lost in those eyes. And the way he plays baseball is fun and awesome, and it's everything you want it to be. That Julio Rodríguez has an opportunity to pick up this lion's share of becoming one of the faces of baseball. I don't know if baseball can have one face anymore or the way the NBA or NFL can, but we can have these multiple faces and use it to the sport's advantage. That Judge is almost this like Shaquille O'Neal type character. He's larger than life. He hits home runs at an all-time record. Shohei Ohtani is doing something that's never been done since the myth of Babe Ruth. And by the way, he's not from the U.S., and that's awesome. He should be this international star of stars. And then at the same time, like if you're doing sex appeal, like if you got to create your own player and put yourself in a video game, it was kind of Tatis. And now I think, Trevor Plouffe too. You want to be a thick third baseman, power to all fields. Like Julio Rodríguez is kind of that guy. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Mariners fans. And I'm starting to get hyped up for Seattle this postseason because that's when you can really plant the stamp. If, depending who the Mariners were to come up against, if Julio Rodríguez can be that dude come October, now you're talking about a 22-year-old face of baseball that's got some battle scars, and the guy's a bona fide stud. This is awesome.
I love it. I love that baseball is truly now becoming an international sport. We've had it for a while. We get players from Asia, we get players from Latin America, we obviously draw from all parts of North America as well. But to have like your stars be international, I think is great for the game. And look, I'm American. I love it when we have, Aaron Judge representing us, like, Mike Trout, like these are like our boys. Like, I still believe, I mean, I don't know. It's our, I still think it's our national pastime. And maybe football's taken that, maybe, but I'm fine with that because I've said this before on the show. Having like Latin America love baseball the way they do is so lucky for Major League Baseball. Like if we didn't have Latin America and they were focused on a different sport, we would lose so much of what's fun about the game. So I love like that we're getting these young guys in that not only like you have to be good at baseball, and these guys are excellent at baseball. Like that's the one thing. You can't just be fun and look good and all this shit. You got to fucking play, bro. Like, these guys can play. They understand the branding of it now. Like, these young guys are getting that. J-Rod's got I hate that nickname. Dang it. Julio has a YouTube channel that he does stuff on. So, like, I love the international aspect really coming into play, man. I think it's great for baseball. And we're going to get the World Baseball Classic coming up, which is like getting me all excited. It's a fun day for baseball fans right now. I don't care who you are, who you root for. You know that's good for baseball.
Yeah, and it's so funny. The baseball Little League World Series is going on right now, and they've got the international teams, and that's awesome. And another thing, if anyone here's ever been to Miami, Miami is this cultural mecca of sorts, and the fact that they haven't, we got to go. I think we're going. World Baseball Classic.
Oh, we're going.
We're going. The fact that Miami hasn't had the baseball team to lean into, one day they will, and that city will love it. They just need to kind of lean into the culture of Miami. And it's also so funny thinking about where we've come on bat flips and having fun on the field. You mentioned, Dominican, Caribbean, like we always look at Leadham every year. And, back in the day, it was like, whoa, it's pretty crazy down there. Those guys have fun. And then it's like, oh, wait, maybe we should do that because baseball is fun. That's the whole point. That's part of the reason we're successful is that it's a fun sport. You don't have to worry about getting beat up like you do in football. Basketball's pretty fun, too. I got no qualms with basketball. Hell, I even like football.
Over basketball.
Trevor's over it. But it's awesome, and it just continues to be a step in the right direction that we can pull superstars from Asia and from the Caribbean and from the U.S. And you know what? Soon we're going to be talking about more like Europe guys as the Little League World Series grows and things like that. In baseball, we start doing the London series and things like that. It's a beautiful sport. This is obviously talking baseball, so we're a little biased, but a nice way to start Friday, Trev.
And we just said before the episode, hey, let's keep this one tight today. Yeah. I don't give a shit what we do. I'll talk for 4 hours about baseball. Think I care? Hey.
Yeah.
India.
Yeah.
Step it up, bro. You got 1 billion people out there. Let's go. Give us some baseball superstars. You already got cricket out there.
Yeah.
Do you know the most famous Instagram athlete is the cricketer?
I like hearing you say cricketer. I'll tell you that.
There's some badass motherfuckers out there. Yeah. Hey, give us a few of them. Come on.
Come
join
guy.
The world's game.
Jom's combining the bridge there. I think you, me, Joe, Zach go to India. Zach gave, I think, a yes. It was a noise. I don't know if you could label it a yes, but I don't know. Some good news for, again, the dying sport of baseball, as Julio Rodríguez, a 21-year-old kid, might have just walked into $400 million.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to call out two places.
Perfect.
Africa and India.
Let's
go, people. Do I need to go over there and start coaching ball?
Yes.
I might have to.
Yes.
Need it, guys. Let's get into some baseball, Jake. Come on.
Let's get into some baseball. All-Stars only. BBD's out. Is he making love? Is that what he's doing?
I think he's at a wedding.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Basically.
So, yes.
So, basically. Yeah. And yeah, Jom actually he finally went to the doctor to get his foot looked at and stuff. So hopefully there's good news there. I don't know how we label that. And guys, it was a funky week. There was a ton of Interleague 2 gamers. You know that's our least favorite thing in the world. And by the way, they came out with next year's schedule and they got rid of a ton of the 2 gamers and everybody's playing each other. Guys, baseball's kind of got it figured out.
Oh, let's do it. They're figuring some shit out.
And before we get to the NL, you know who else has it figured out, Trev? My Mugsies.
Oh, of course.
Mugsies are the most comfortable men's jeans on the planet. We are in the last week of August. Fall's coming. Postseason baseball. Julio buying us dinners in our Mugsies. Mugsies are as comfortable as they get. The whole story behind why we're partners with them now, they were the jeans Jimmy wore. And he was Our sales team asked us, like, what are you guys passionate about? I said, really good looking goatees. Jimmy said, Muggsy jeans, and that's why we are with Muggsy. They're as comfortable as they get. I, normally a hot person, I wore a pair of Muggsy's yesterday, and I did good in the August heat with them. Okay, Trev's got a question.
Muggsy's look great on you. I've seen you in Muggsy's.
Yeah, they hug me.
Problem is,
okay,
you got 1, but then you minus 1, you get 0, and I think that's what happens with the goatee.
Okay.
So if you wear Muggsy jeans, don't ever have a goatee like that if you're wearing Muggsy jeans. It takes away from them.
I think don't ever have a goatee like mine right now is the answer for literally everyone. I didn't flip the hair up today. This is one of those episodes. Sometimes we run the TV in our office and old episodes pop up. And some of my looks are just atrocious. And this is one of those days. But that's my own goatee's fault. It's not Muggsy's fault. They are the best. And with promo code baseball, you'll get 10% off your entire order at Muggsy.com. Give them a try. I guarantee you're going to like them. They're comfortable. The Muggsy guys came through the other day. We went to a baseball game with them. They're baseball fans as well. So go check it out. Muggsy.com, promo code baseball, 10% off. I think the percentage of time this winter that I will wear Muggsy jeans is probably 80%. Like 4 out of 5 days I'm going to be in Muggsy's. So yeah, that's a pretty big endorsement.
My old trainer he still does. He trains in jeans and like Vans with no socks. I need to hook him up with Muggsy because Muggsy's are essentially like an athletic pant that looks like a stylish, beautiful cut pair of jeans.
Right. Like I feel like when I go out to dinner with Jess, I'm like, I've won. I've like tricked her.
No.
I'm wearing
Jess is way. I guess you did win because she's just way above your league.
Right. Not bad.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk some baseball.
Speaking of above my league, Trevor Plouffe. You have the ale today.
I have the ale today.
That means Papi Gordito has the National League. Zach, let's do it. It is a massive sweep week, people. The Atlanta Braves, what did they do? They went into Pittsburgh and they swept the Pirates. I mean, are the Braves just Trev's friends, Odorizzi and Max Fried? The first 2 games of this series, they hold the Pirates to 1 run in each of those games, and then they blow it out on the final day. Robbie Grossman's your friend. He's on the Braves, too, by the way. He's talking about how crazy this lineup is, especially with the young guys. Grissom, 3 hits in 1 game. Matt Olson, date my daughter and take her on a trip in the Allegheny, because that's what he did. The Braves, man, this team is so good. Max Fried, you may hear about him later on in the program. Little teaser there. Speaking of really good teams, the Philadelphia Phillies, they sweep the Cincinnati Reds. Noah Syndergaard with a big start. Aaron Nola with a big start. And by the way, guess who's coming to town? Bryce Harper is joining the boys today. Not only did the Phillies stay alive without Bryce, they kind of thrived a little bit. And Harper comes back. Nola, complete game shutty the day that Wheeler's going on the IL, so you take the good with the bad there. Remaining strength of schedules, Phillies with the 8th easiest, Brewers 7th easiest. You might hear about them later. Like I mentioned, Syndergaard had a really good start for them. They 4-game sweep it, and Schwarbo, he's got 35 ding-dongs on the year. Big meat. Speaking of the Dodgers, take 2 out of 3 from the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, they win 4-0. Game 1, Lauer. After his quotes, they shut out the Dodgers in that first game, but oh no, that might have just pissed him off because Catter Day, meow. That's a lot of W's, Trev. That's a lot of W's for your guy, Tony Gonsolin. And then they take the rubber match on the final day. By the way, our guy Walker Buehler gets TJ, so he's out like all of next year. That's a bummer for the sport. We love Walker Buehler. We might have to get him involved. We know Walker's kind of sneaky. He might be in for a postseason talking baseball. Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Get him while he's sedated.
Andrew Heaney, 6 innings, 10 Ks. And that's obvious because that's what they do. They knocked around Corbin Burns. The Dodgers are different, man. Cardinals and Cubs, they linked up for 5. Cardinals take 3 out of 5. This went every other game. Cards 1-0. Jordan Montgomery, you're going to hear about him later, I promise you. Cubs win 2-0, and then Cards blow them out in the third and the final game. Hey, Cardinals take 3 out of 5 in Wrigley. Javier Assad pitches for the Cubs. Strikes out Pujols. Says he never could have dreamed of it. Glad he got Pujols out because not a lot of people have lately. Paul Goldschmidt, people, we talked about it last time. That guy's going to be your MVP. He is an absolute stud, including 2 homers in that final game. Dakota Hudson with a big start. And guess what? Fairly big interleague, a lot of teams in there. That's what happened in the NL. Yeah. Why'd you start laughing at the start? You started losing it right at the rip.
I was waiting for you to finish. I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay.
There was a comment there that was just too good
What'd they
that
say?
just ripped on you.
No,
Oh, man.
It's not about my life.
I had to take a picture of it because I didn't want to lose it. So I'm going to give you credit,
Okay.
chat. You know I love the chat.
Yeah,
Chat got
I love
here.
the chat.
Nick Tholen
Yeah.
said, Jake's goatee looks like a toddler who ate chocolate ice cream and didn't wipe his face.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's not wrong.
If you have kids, you know they're always just this fucking ring around their face of food. I don't get it. Kids are disgusting.
Yeah.
And so are you, my friend, with that goatee.
So am I. Thanks. We love the chat. We love the chat. In the National League, again, a lot of interleague, so you haven't heard about some of these. Mets are still in first place. They have a 3-game lead on the hot Atlanta Braves. 3 games, though. That's starting to get real again. The Philadelphia Phillies, 67-55, 11 games back. Trev still laughing at me in my face. The St. Louis Cardinals, they have a 5-game lead on the division. Winners of 8 straight. Milwaukee, 65-56. Rest of that division is DED dead. And your Los Angeles Dodgers, 84-37.
God damn.
The Padres are
Say that again.
684-37. It's unreal, man. That's unreal. Padres, 68-56. San Francisco's a game under 500. Snakes, 5-game back of San Francisco. People are talking. And your NL wild card, right now it's Atlanta, 8 games in. They are home free. The Phillies and San Diego are technically tied. That's fun. That's a fun one with the Milwaukee Brewers being a game and a half back. Literally the only other team kind of in the ballpark is San Francisco, who's a game under 500, 6.5 back. They would really have to find a special gear. Otherwise, Milwaukee, San Diego, and Philly are all in the race for that last wild card spot. So, Trevor, we started... I'll go Cron Pod. I know you love Cron Pod. I started with the Atlanta Braves. I don't even know how much of a deep dive in there because it feels like a lot of the same stuff. Their young guys are disgusting and performing. They sweep the Pirates, and they get really good pitching performances. Odo, 6 innings, 1 earned. Fried, 8 innings, 1 earned. And then Wright, 7-inning shutout. This team is all around so good. And here's a fun one. Hey, how about our stats team? Shout out to Max. The Braves are 12-0 on days the Mets have lost a game dating back to July 17th. So that's a fun one. So when the Mets lose, you are gaining ground. I like that. That's a fun one. Soroka's making a rehab start tomorrow. I mean, Michael Harris hits an Oppo homer. I don't know, Trev. Where do you go with these guys? Are you wearing a Braves hat?
Yeah, I got a new one from my guy Carl Lamar, so shout out. He sent this one. I've been wanting this one for a long time. It's got like the neon green. The colorway is just spectacular. So yeah, shout out him. He sent me a package. Thanks, bro. What I like about this Braves team, we've talked about these guys a lot. Okay, there's a lot to like about the Braves team. The Braves lead all of baseball with 78 RBI coming from the 9-hole. The next highest, 65 and 56 from the Dodgers and the Giants. They're on pace for 101 RBI from the 9-hole, which would eclipse the all-time record of 100 that the Texas Rangers had in 1996 when everybody was just putting steroids into their heart.
Yeah.
This is, to me, is probably the most telling thing about a baseball team. How long is your lineup? What are the threats there? And I understand sometimes you can do that double leadoff guy down in the 9-hole, whatever it is. But this also means that your 7 and 8 guys are getting on base. This means that you don't have a top 5 and then the rest of the guys you're just hoping to, figure some things out day in, day out. These dudes are doing it.
Right.
This is a lineup that a pitcher looks at. You're pre-gaming for the series. And what you do is you look for the outs. Who are the outs in this lineup? Okay? Right now, with the Braves, it's tough. You're not going to find a lot of easy outs because of what they've done with their roster construction. They went into Pittsburgh. They handled the business. They are Peter Moylan is tweeting out memes of cars' wheels falling off because they're close to catching the Mets, which I didn't think was possible. I really didn't, dude. And then you got Matt Olson, date your daughter, Jake.
Yeah.
Putting one in the river. Did you see the swing?
I've seen it a lot, man.
It's about as pure as you can get, and he launched that earmuffs. Motherfucker. Oh. It's one of those swings that you just, it kind of like makes the hair on your arms stick up a little bit. Like that is as pure as it gets. If you've ever hit a home run that you are like, I got that one. You know, Jake, you know that feeling.
I'll start
something. There may not be a better feeling in all of baseball when you absolutely just put your A swing and you hit that ball like that. There's not Soroka might be coming back soon. I mean, he is coming back soon. We'll see what kind of role he has. These guys they're on point, man.
Trev, you're all over it, man, and it's whether you want to, the things we like to check off when we talk about stud teams. Like, okay, do you have that brutal top of the lineup that every time you flip the lineup you got to go through hell? Ronnie Acuna, Dansby Swanson. We haven't talked about him heading into free agency enough. My guy might get a big old bag. Young, thick Austin Riley's an MVP candidate. Matt Olson has had an amazing year. And then, okay, so you got that. Check it off, top of the lineup. Do you got some young studs or something fun going on at the bottom of the lineup? You tell me with Michael Harris, Vaughn Grissom, Eddie Rosario, and Marcell Ozuna. They can almost be a platoon if they want. William Contreras. Your guy, Robbie Grossman. You can tuck him down at the bottom of the lineup if you don't want young and sexy. How about I give you old and on base? This Braves team,
That's good.
This Braves team is deep. We don't talk about their starting pitching a ton, and that's all they got this series. Morton didn't pitch. Spencer Strider, who's striking out everyone in the world, didn't pitch this series. And their bullpen, they've got, dude, Kenley Jansen, Reisel, A.J. Minter, Colin McHugh, Matzik, Kirby Yates. Dude, it's top to bottom with this team. And, the Braves and the Mets, I guess that would be if we were doing a true sports show debate, would be, are these teams better than the Dodgers just because the Dodgers don't have one of those teams in their division? Like, the Dodgers, Braves, and Mets, I have them as 1A, 1B, 1C. I don't know how you split them up, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no holes on the Braves roster. Mm-hmm. I think that's one thing that you can say about them that you can maybe say about, I don't even know if you can say that about any other team. I don't know. I think they're one of, if not the most complete roster in the big leagues.
And they take care of the Pirates. I actually think I might have a Pirate Award coming later, so we might bottle that up.
There's some talks about the standings aren't updated. I don't know where you got those standings, but I think everyone can go and just click on and see where everyone's at.
Oh, those standings weren't... Dude, I had 2 windows open next to each other. And one was the standings from today. One was from the 22nd. So that is my bad. That is completely my bad. Let's see. Atlanta's 10 games up in the wild card. They are home free. Philadelphia 2.5 up. San Diego is a 1.5 up on Milwaukee. And then let's see what else changed in divisions there. Sorry, my people. That's a huge my bad. Mets are 2 games up on the Braves. Sheesh. St. Louis 6 games up. And the Dodgers are 19.5 up on the Padres. Oh, my God. Unreal. Pirates, you're getting a little love later, and I don't think you guys are going to get a lot of love in that series, so we'll keep it moving. Philly sweep the Reds. I mean, hey, another team, another good team, another bad team, another team taking care of business here, but we get a good Syndergaard start. We get Aaron Nola. I think he went complete game shutty, 11 Ks. And the bad man comes back today. So, again, I don't know how much of this series is the conversation or how much of it is getting Bryce back, making sure he's right, and wherever they get seated in the playoffs. This is a team you've said from day one you don't want to see this team come the postseason.
Yeah, I think, Wheeler goes on the IL with some tendonitis in his elbow. I'm hoping that is just preventative and maybe like a rest period for them. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, there's something going on.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not serious. And they're like, hey, if we skip 2 starts, I think everything will be better. I'm hoping that's what it is. They need him. They really do, because that is one of their strengths. I mean, you put those top 3 guys up against anyone, Wheeler, Nola, and Suarez there, and then you got some guys in the back with Syndergaard and Gibson. The second game of this series, where they walked it off, was pretty cool because it was the Reds took the lead in the 9th, and then Stott almost walks it off. I think he hits the top of the wall, which is like fun because you tie the game, but also you're like, dude, just like 2 more feet, bro. Like I could be the hero, get all the cameras on me, and then Maton does it. So they played a good series, similar to the Braves against the Pirates. Phillies, you need to go take care of business when you're playing the Reds. So they did.
And they did, and I think, man, with their improved standing and the right standings, they are battling with the Brewers, who are still figuring it out. They are, quick math, 4 games up and in the wild card, which, I mean, you're not locked by any means. There's still a lot of baseball left. There's, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. But yeah, I mean, everything that the articles say about Wheeler is that if they needed him to pitch, they could. But yeah, it looks like he's going to miss 2 starts, and it's Phantom IL season. I talked about this with Jerry Blevins on Wake and Jake a little bit, and it's so funny the hoops we have to jump through a little bit. But understandably so, because Phantom IL is a really tricky thing, but also we've gotten to the point that we understand the mental sides of sports, and there's also a physical side to it, that there should almost be an understood rest for players if they do need it. But it does start to get tricky because then our team's throwing guys on the IL when they're not hurt. I don't know how you do it, but if you're the Phillies, I mean, it's 90% you're going to be in the playoffs and get your guys right and healthy, and you got to be excited. I think Philadelphia, when Harper went down, was expected to be on the outside looking in, and now that they're kind of firmly in, that's just so huge. So huge.
It is, and I love the fact that Bryce was like slated to play this whole week in the minor leagues, and he's like, nah, dog.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. You see what I'm doing down here? Like, I need the details on this trip from Bryce. I need to know the pregame or the postgame spread. I need to know that. Yeah. That is something I am so interested in. So hopefully anybody in the chat, if they said something about that, please let me know.
Hit up Gibby.
Yeah, maybe Gibby knows. What I think people need to realize is that players don't have to go on rehab assignments. You have to agree to go on a rehab assignment. So a lot of times we get dummies that are like, no, I'm not going on a rehab assignment. I'm good. But you need to go see some live pitching. I think Bryce was like, my eyes are feeling good. In 2 games, I think he played 2 games or 2 days.
It's funny.
He's back, bro. I can't fucking wait to see him mashing baseballs. I think he might have the best looking uni in the game when all things are considered. Because you want to know why I say that?
Why is that?
Because this is analytics right here, people. When you got your own cleats with your own freaking name on them, it just takes you to the next level.
Yeah.
Just takes you to the next level. And he wears like that, like, the 3/4 pants look thing with the stirrups, and he's got everything. He got a lot of flair, but it works for Bryce.
And man, Real Muto's been hot. Alec Boehm has been hot. Throwing Harper in there.
Alec Boehm has been hot.
Even where Castellanos was, he's been better. That Reeser's having a nice season with Schwarbo. Yeah, man, and we're starting to get close where we can start to talk almost playoff strategy. And if they can have Nola Wheeler, and then you have Gibson or Syndergaard, and maybe Ranger kicks back to the pen, and you got D-Rob out there. Like, this Phillies team, they've got Pittsburgh this weekend. I could see their winning ways continuing, and they were one of the coin flip teams that we didn't know if they were going to be a part of this season, and they full-blown are, and Harper's back, and that is awesome news. Big start by Syndergaard, too. Love that. Trev, the other one with 2 teams that matter the rest of the way, the Cubs and the Cardinals played 5, and the Cards won 3 out of 5, so that kind of is what it is. Pujols has been one of the stories of baseball, which is insane. But the Dodgers and Brewers, they linked up for 3. Dodgers took 2 out of 3 after the Brewers took the first one. And yeah, man, Dodgers, last time we were talking about them getting to Alcantara, this time they get to Corbin Burns. Like, maybe I should stop comparing other teams to the Dodgers.
They're a different beast. The way they grind out at bats. I mean, they can do it all offensively, and with the pitching, they've been able to just like figure it out, dude. And the guys obviously have stepped up for them. I'm curious to see. I haven't really heard updates on Kershaw. We'll see how that goes, but they're a different team. Yes. I love for the Brewers. I love Lauer. You remember Lauer came in. It's Eric Lauer, right?
Yep.
He came out and was talking about like how they were mad about the Hader trade and all that stuff. And like sometimes I'm like, dude, are you going to say that? I know you've been pitching well. Are you going to say that and all the things are going to go down? You're facing the Dodgers. He has an unbelievable start. So he kind of backs it up right there. I love that. They take game 1. And then the Dodgers offense just opened up. It just opened up.
And man,
tough for the Brew Crew because you're fighting for your life right now. And going to I think this is probably what they expect. You go to Dodger Stadium, and it's bad for. I hope they didn't feel this way, but I think on the outside looking in, you're like, yeah, they're probably going to lose 2 or 3.
No, Trev, that is a good point though. That when Lauer says that, and then he takes the hill and you shut the team down, that's a lot different than if you go out and you get rocked the next day, because then everyone can say, well, dude, team would have done a lot better if you pitched well. And yeah, for Milwaukee, you get the hell out of Dodgers, literally, and then you're at home, Cubs and Pirates, and then they go and play the Snakes. So, like, we've been out on the Brewers for a little bit. They're a game and a half back in the wild card. Now is kind of their go time, and they can. They still can. They still have the arms. Got a couple of those guys in the lineup need to click, but, take care of the Cubs. Take care of the Pirates at home. And, we look around the league, and there's the exciting races are kind of Mets, Braves in the East. The AL wild card, everyone's a little skeptical of Baltimore, so it seems like the wild card teams are wrapped up over there. Milwaukee, if they can find it, which they absolutely can, 6 weeks of baseball and a lot of talent on that team, there's going to be one really sad team in the National League. Trev, I've got my standouts coming out of the Cardinals-Cubs series. If there's anything you want there.
Are you taking who I was going to take?
I don't know. Hey, whose initials were you going to take?
Well, let's just say
Okay.
there's Dick in his name.
Okay, no.
Okay.
No. So good. So good.
That's a weird way to talk about him. I'm sorry.
That was really weird.
In my mind, I went there.
That was really weird. Goldschmidt continues an MVP run. Dakota Hudson, nice start. Arenado can't
They
stop.
had some incredible defensive plays. I talked about it a little bit on baseball today, man. Like Goldschmidt at first base makes all those guys in the infield so much better. I know those guys are great on their own, right? But to have a guy like Goldie doing what he's doing at first base makes you so confident, dude.
Pujols 693, and he ties Bonds for most different pitchers homers off of.
We know what Corey Dickerson did, guys. We're going to talk about it.
Trev, do you want to bring us...
Wait, one more thing you got to mention. Just for you. I want you to go look. Tell me what Jordan Montgomery did.
That might have been my standout, Trev.
Oh, baby.
That's why we mark it in the sheet there. But
you already marked it?
Marked.
Time for the AL, baby.
Let's hear the AL. Big Z, hit him with it.
My people, we are starting out with a tough one for your boy, Coach Trev. The Twins go into Houston and they get swept. 4-2 Astros, 5-3 Astros, 6-3 Astros. It's been the bats for a while for the Twins. They actually had some decent pitching here, but man, you're going up against Verlander, Framber, and Garcia, and these things are about to happen. Bregman stays freaking hot. 3 hits with 2 home runs in the first game, a 2-run home run in the first game. I think he had another homer at some point. Mancini's going off, hitting a bunch of home runs. The Astros are a damn good team, and the Twins right now are struggling to find themselves an identity. They got to step it up. They get swept down in Houston. Another sweep. This will make some sense. The Rays sweep the Angels, a 4-game set. 2-1 Rays, 11-1 Rays in Game 2. They needed extras to walk it off in Game 3, 4-3, and then they won the game 8-3. The Angels are kind of spiraling downward. Jared Walsh is done for the season. What does he have, like thoracic outlet or something like that going on? That's interesting. The Rays continue to do it. We always say Rays going Ray. They did that again here. The bullpen was fantastic. A bunch of guys stepping up for them. A bunch of different guys offensively too. Rays going Ray. They sweep the Angels in a 4-game set. Another sweep. Are you kidding me? The Blue Jays go into Fenway and I think effectively end the Red Sox season. I'm probably going to put that out there, my people. 9-3 Blue Jays, and then 2 extra inning wins, 3-2 and 6-5. We had Stripling, Barrios, and Gausman all go there. There was some excellent defense. I'll talk about that in a little bit. My guy Chappie. The Blue Jays went 6-1 on this Yankees-Red Sox trip. They're 8-1 in Boston this season with 2 sweeps. Romano was fantastic. Back-to-back nights coming in and shutting their team down. Blue Jays are not getting talked about enough. They are a terrifying team come October. They get the sweep. And I believe the last series that we're going to talk about, the White Sox at Orioles, a lot of playoff implications going into this series. And the Orioles take 2 of 3. And my, oh my, it could have been the other way around. The Orioles win the first one 5-3. The White Sox win the second one 5-3. And we know what happened in that last game. 4-3 Orioles. Adam Engel drops the fly ball with 2 outs in the 9th. Could have brought home the victory. Instead, the Orioles tie it up and they get the win in extras. Orioles take 2 or 3 from the White Sox. And my people, that is what happened in the American League.
Trevor Plouffe, magnificent as always, or is it maleficent? I never know. The updated standings, not the standings from earlier in the week, because that's probably what you guys are looking for. The New York Yankees are atop the AL East, a 7.5 game lead of the Tampa Bay Rays, winners of 6 straight, and they are a half game up of the Toronto Blue Jays, who are 7-3 in their last 10. So the AL East, baby, continues to go. Even the Orioles, 65-59, the lowly Red Sox. Holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. They are a few games back of Baltimore down there. The Cleveland Guardians, a team I think we need to start giving more love, are 4 games up on the Twins, who are now a game above 500, Trevor. And the Chicago White Sox, who are the same and are trying to just completely break me, and they may have. We'll talk about that. And the Houston Astros continue to dominate out west, 12.5 up, 81-45. Sheesh. Mariners, 68-57, but they locked up Julio. So that's awesome for them. So your wild card is Tampa, a half game up on Toronto. Toronto, a game up on Seattle. And Baltimore is 2.5 games outside looking in on those teams. So, Trevor Plouffe, where do you want to go, Big Daddy?
We'll do Crom-Pod. You know, the Astros and the Twins kind of going in opposite directions here. Twins have to put Buxton on the IL, which for a team that has kind of been struggling for an identity offensively, that's not great. But the Astros are just that team, I guess. You know, Framber goes his 21st consecutive quality start. Verlander goes 6 shutty, no hit innings with 10 Ks. Didn't walk anyone. His only base runner was a drop third strike. And there's a note here, Verlander and Framber, a combined 41 quality starts this season. That's more than 12 other teams have. Like 12 teams, and these two guys have done it themselves. I think that they're another team like the Braves who really don't have a hole in their roster. It's tough to go play this team, no matter where, no matter when. Doesn't matter if you catch the top of the rotation, the bottom of the rotation. This team is just damn good, man. And the Twins came in struggling a little bit. I think they had a series loss against the Rangers. They go into here, and it's tough, man.
They're so good. Mancini with the couple homers, that brings his Astros numbers back up to a decent place. I think he was in a slight skid, but yeah, man. I mean, Justin Verlander, every time he pitches, he could be a standout performer for us. It's nuts. We talk about it. We also don't talk about it enough. Unfortunately, Trev, I think the story here is you checked everything off with the Astros. Oh, they win some more. Their pitchers who have done it for a while do it again. We know some of the bad dudes in their lineup. Man, your Twins, it's starting to hit. Like, it's fight or flight time. They're a game above 500. They've been playing under 500 baseball since May. It's almost September. So I don't know, man. It's not looking good for the Twinkies as they've lost 6 straight.
It's tough. My girl Shaylar is in the chat talking about facing the Astros with a AAA team, half AAA team. I mean, I don't think it'll be any different. I think the Astros are, in a class above the Twins, and I think kind of shows.
Man,
Correa got a nice ovation,
yeah.
and then, the Twins tried to get things going. Rocco had this meeting. He called it the zero fucks meeting. He told them just to go out and play and have fun, which is cool. Probably a little bit too late, if you ask me. It's tough for me to put into words how I feel about the Twins, because I kind of want to go off on them a little more about, kind of the things they've done. They went for it a little bit, they made some moves, but not aggressive enough, in my opinion. How about that? You went and got Correa. I love that move. It's been okay. I think that helped their clubhouse a lot, but I know you went and got Molly too, but I don't think that was enough in regards to the pitching. I know they've done okay, but it's still it's just blah.
Yeah.
The best way I can put it. And I've been a part of the Minnesota Twins organization for a long time, man. And it's been a while since it's they put out a team that you're like, holy shit. 2010, I guess, probably the last time they put out a team that you probably say that about.
Yeah, I mean, I got excited about the Bomba squad. I mean, they were hitting a ton of homers that you were
They weren't pitching, though.
Is this different? It's true. It's true. I mean, it's
even in 2010, we didn't really have that great of pitching.
It's why
we just pieced it together.
I think you and Jimmy used to bump elbows a little bit when it came to the Twins, because the Twins, they really haven't had the fear factor, and now you're looking at a 500 Twins team, and man, their upcoming schedule Giants, Red Sox, and White Sox. It's like a mid-fest for them for the next week and a half. So that's tough. That's tough. And that's, baseball seemingly always finds a way. Will one of the mids click for the final 6 weeks? Minnesota, the White Sox. Boston's kind of out of mid and just bad. San Francisco. I don't know. We'll see if any of those become.
When I was in Minnesota, talking to one of my former teammates, I'm not going to say who.
Okay.
But he was like, really the last time that the Twins have had like front of the line, really good starters in the rotation was like Johan and Francisco Liriano. That's a long time ago. It's like 2006, bro.
Yeah.
And like, that's not to take away from guys. There's been some good pitchers that come through there, but like it's when you got that stat I just read about the Astros, 41 quality starts in a season, but out of 2 guys.
Yeah.
That shit hasn't happened probably since 2006.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. Astros are really good. And Trev, I teased this a little bit. I'm not going to give myself a full pat on the back. I think there's another team joining the category of really good, and I think it's the Rays.
You better back it up. You're going to say that. Tell me.
Well, the Rays are winners of 6 straight. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Their record's starting to get to a nice place, 69-55. And yet, they had a little bit of the signs. They were the Rays. They've never been. Think about all the conversations we've had about concerns about teams this year. We've never had Rays concerns because you just don't, because the Rays find a way. And now they've got some guys back, especially in their bullpen. My guy Pete Fairbanks is back and looking really good down there. Their starting pitching, Drew Rasmussen, is continuing to put forward efforts. And they're winning ball games as they get a little healthier. So I thought they were going to become more a part of this season because I thought Wander Franco would come back along with some of the pitching. By the way, I saw Tyler Glass now throwing to some live hitting the other day. The Rays, man, they take care of their business. Again, they sweep a 4-gamer against the Halos, which is always tough. And they're in the mix. They're in the mix, and we need to talk about them more.
This is kind of what we talk about when we're saying Ray is going to Ray, because they have a lot of pitchers they were going to rely on this year on the IL, but they continue to find ways to get it done. Shane Boz, IL. Patino's in the minor leagues. Kittredge, 60-day IL. Fleming, 15-day IL. Luke Raley is not a pitcher. What am I talking about? I had another one. But they just continue to get it done. And whether that's organizationally, they just find ways to put people in positions to succeed, which is basically what Cash was saying. But there really is no other way to put it than the Ray is going Ray. It's the perfect encapsulation of that organization because they do like to have it faceless. They do like to have guys there that they want you to feel confident. They want to put you in the right scenarios. And that's where they get that's where they have the most fun. I feel like that front office relishes in the fact that, hey, we can take these guys and put them in the right positions and teach them a few things that they do really well and tell them to go do that. And we're going to be all right as a franchise. And that's what they've done.
Randy's gone the last week or so. Manny Margot always making the action happen. We know that's his MO from Coach Ballgame. Shout out. Yeah, Kluber, 6 innings, 1 earned. He's putting together a full season. It's not exactly beautiful, but innings. We always talk about the Rays needing innings, and he's doing that. Betancourt homers for them. He's done that a couple times now. So Rays sweep. They're getting hot at the right time. That if they do get Wander back, I saw something that said he might rehab next week. The Rays can hit a scary factor, that they haven't been there. They've just been around in this season. They haven't been scary. And a team you mentioned when you were running through these games that we thought was going to be scary and might be getting more scarier, kind of the AL's version of the Phillies in my brain, is the Toronto Blue Jays.
the Phillies of the AL of the Toronto Blue Jays?
Kind of. They've got the scary hitters in the lineup, and they have.
I think they're a better team than the Phillies.
Okay. Go on
I
with
do.
your bad self.
I do. I thought this was pretty funny, because of how the second game went and the Rays were up by a bunch. They had Betancourt pitch in the 9th inning. He goes 2 for 4 with a homer and a 2-run single in the 7th. And then he tosses a scoreless 9th to close it out. He touched 95 miles an hour, Jake, and he said after the game, "Now I know what it feels like to be Ohtani." It's pretty cool. If you're up there and you toss 95,
yeah, that's a real number.
I like it.
That's a
real number, bro. That ain't 85. That's 95.
That's forever.
Love that.
That's forever. Your Jays
Let's
swept the Sox.
Jays swept the Sox. They're getting it going right now. 9-3 Blue Jays in game 1. This is 8 of 9 Jays starters recorded the hit. The only one who didn't was Kirk, and he walked twice. That's a deep lineup. Chapman after the game talked about how the way they scored runs wasn't just like hitting homers. It was like we walked, we hustled, we beat a ball out. They just really played baseball. I love when Chappie talks shit like that. Then the next next 2 games, extra innings, and Romano, I mean, he tosses a scoreless, I believe, 10th in the second game, and then they go to get the save. And then in the third game, he pitched 2 innings. He holds him in 9, then holds him in 10, and they end up winning. I just think that they are. I think the Jays, because they've been pretty mid. They've been. I think I had the. I had it up here. April, 636 winning percentage. And then May, June, July, and August, they've been just right over 500.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about this Jays team going off on a run. There's still a run in this team. And if they hit it at the right time, this is a team you really, really have to be looking at or scared of if you're other teams, because they could get it going in an instant because they have that type of roster.
And it's the beauty of baseball, right? This Blue Jays team, they have guys that your best pitcher could throw their best pitch in Vlad, George Springer, Alejandro Kirk, Teoscar Hernandez, Bo Bichette. Those guys can beat you flat out. So George Springer is back. I think he was out for a little bit. And yeah, I think part of the other reason is, Vlad's season is really, really good, but the bar he set for us last year, it's a tier below that there's no Blue Jays outside of Manoah and Gossman that are having really standout seasons. But as a team, with a good month, and like you mentioned, Trev, that's a really good point, that for the past couple months, they have been mid. They've been above the Mendoza line, the White Sox and all those guys, the Giants. They've been right above that because of that good first month. But yeah, I mean, and it's one of the things of baseball. We talk about it on Talkin' Yanks a lot because we saw it live in the 2017 season for the Yankees, our first season getting started. The Yankees had 2 good months, and the rest were right around 500. If you do that, you'll be a really good baseball team. So hopefully they have their good month coming, especially as the Red Sox kind of do their final death march to finish out this season. Tough, and I know I talked about it last episode, but yeah, and by the way, this is a side note that isn't a big part of this series. James Paxton, who was dominant in Seattle, came over to the Yankees and was a really nice ball player. Man, you want to talk about the part of baseball we don't discuss enough. He was out pretty much all this year. There was a chance he was going to come back for September. He was rehabbing. He tears his lat in a rehab start and is out for the season. Man, this sport is such a grind, and we talk about guys hitting free agency at the right time. He's a guy, if he had timed up his free agency right, James Paxton is like $100 million pitcher, and he's let's hope he can come back next year for some team and look good and get the payday he deserves, because he's a fun pitcher when he's right, man. But the injury bugs had him for a little bit.
It's tough.
Yeah.
A couple other cool things from the series. Talked talked about like the Blue Jays and what Romano did in that last game, game 3. They had runners. Red Sox had runners in scoring position in the 7th, 8th, and 10th, and they didn't score any of them. So whether that's it's bad for the Red Sox offense, also good for the Blue Jays bullpen. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
And then this is a fun story. I want to mention this because I like when stuff like this happens. Danny Jansen, he met a kid who had survived brain cancer, and he told him that he hit a home run for him, and then if he did that, he'd point to him. Guess what he did? Hit a home run over the monster and pointed to him.
God, that's cool.
Love that.
God, that's cool, man.
That kid feels like he's a superstar. When that happens and you see a big leaguer tell you he's going to do something, does it, and points to you, you feel like you hit the homer if you're the kid. That's awesome, dude.
And that's got to be pretty cool for Danny Jansen, too, who he's a big part of that Blue Jays team, man. You know,
Danny Jansen.
Clubhouse guy, catches a lot for them, and it always feels like he hurts the Yanks. I know sometimes the end of season numbers aren't there for Danny Jansen, but he finds a way. He's an important part of that team. Trev, closing it off because there's a lot of weird IL. O's White Sox, man, and I don't know, man. If I was gonna embody both of these teams' seasons in one moment, it's fucking last night, dude. Like the White Sox should win this series. Liam Hendricks on the hill. Not so much. Kyle Stowers. Stowers? I don't even know because it's his first career home run as they're down to their last strike in the 9th. It's for the Orioles to win the series instead of the Mid-Sox.
I know the series was more than that. We had the 5-out save from Bautista. He's been incredible. Gavin Sheets doing his thing in game 2, but I agree with you. 2 strikes, 2 outs, fly ball to your left fielder, who is, I think you consider him, that's your defensive replacement. And he just zoos it, man. There's nothing like, he had to run for the ball. You know the ball comes back towards you when it's headed that way, like it's going to come back towards the field of play, and he just overran it just a little bit, and like kind of took his eye off it just a little bit. And then you're thinking to yourself, if you're Adam Engel, fuck, I messed that up.
Yeah.
But you're also saying, we got Liam Hendricks here, who's been phenomenal lately. He still has 2 strikes on this dude, who's never hit a homer. And then he hits a homer.
It's a homer.
And you, if you're Adam Engel, you just want to have a shovel nearby so you can dig a hole and crawl into it. It's the worst feeling. I've been there, bro. I get it happens. I wouldn't beat yourself up over it, but I know you want to. I'm sure you have been. But as much as it is embarrassing for the White Sox, and my, oh my, they've embarrassed themselves this year, it's awesome for the Orioles. Because, again, you still had 2 strikes on you with 2 outs, and you're down a run against, arguably the best closer in the game.
Yeah.
And you did it. And then you go hold him down. Or no, did they walk it off? Oh yeah, they held him 2 innings in a row without being able to score.
Yeah.
With a runner on second, you throw up zeros twice, and then you walk it off.
I tell you, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in each of those locker rooms afterwards, because I can't imagine them being much more opposite. And Trev, I don't know if you want to do this because it hurt you a little bit, but it would be in the spirit of the betterment of this season. Can you announce the White Sox are dead so hopefully they have a chance to go?
Oh, shit, man. I'm going to go from Oracle, baseball prophet. This guy knows ball.
Right.
Listen to what he says. I might have picked 2 teams to be in the World Series that aren't going to make the freaking playoffs.
Currently
bro.
not in the dance.
I'm a zoo now. I'm a clown. Bryce Harper would call me a clown. And then we get in a fight, and I probably would win.
Say the White Sox are dead. Spark their season.
They're not dead. I still have hope for my 2 teams.
Damn it.
I still got hope for my 2 teams, man. They're still, what are the White Sox are? Oh, shit.
Yeah, man, it's getting real. I think they're 4 out on the division.
And 5 back of the wild card. Oh, boy. And the Milwaukee's 1.5 back of the division, of the wild card.
Call the White Sox
6
dead.
back.
Just say the White Sox are dead. Just say it.
I can't.
Damn it, Trev. All right.
Tony La Russa's not dead. He's walking dead.
I mean, there's Let's do a tight interleague because I think there's 3 teams that need to be discussed. Man, a lot of 2-gamers. I hate it. Zach, we're going to be tight with this one. I think 10 minutes. Yeah. Give me the music. It'll be quick. This one might not, though. Let's go Yankees. Speaking of 2-gamers that matter, the Yankees show the fortitude to win both games 4-2. They take down Scherzer, and then Frankie Montas, a big start for him. Yankees take both games at home in the Subway Series. This was big for them. They took down Manoah in the final game. It looks like they're out of their funk. We have the bonus points of next series. The rumors have fully come out that a Pablo Lopez trade was almost done for Gleyber Torres. Those officially came out today. So I don't know. I don't know what you do with that, but Yankees, it looks like they're out of their skid. Mets, I don't know. You put your shoulders up a little bit. They took both games in City. Andrew Benintendi starting to go for the Yanks. That's a big deal. Guardians, a team we probably need to talk about a lot more because they now have a commanding AL Central lead as they take 2 games from the Padres. Oscar Gonzalez, this dude is thrashing. 343 this month. Man, Guardians take both versus the Padres. Cal Quantrill with 7 shutty. That's big. Clevenger, 6 innings, picks 2 earned against his old team, but it's not enough as the Guard Dogs take both. Marlins took 2 out of 3 from the Athletics. I don't know if anyone watched this, although Cabrera for the Marlins, 22.2 shutout innings in 4 starts since coming back from the IL. That is gross. And yeah, some good baby Jesus here. His old team, he comes back. A's win that final game in 10 innings. Nationals, Mariners, they split 2, folks. I don't know what you want from me there. Bob Ray, 6.21 earned. And hey, they just locked up that Julio guy. That's pretty cool. George Kirby, 7 innings, 1 earned himself. Is that a fart? Giants, Tigers, they split 2. Again, I don't know what to do with this. Rodon and Manning for respective teams. They each dropped it. I can't give you too much else. D-backs, Royals. Oh! This was the series of the weekend. I can't say that with a straight face, unfortunately. D-backs won the first one. Royals won the second. Man, Bobby Witt Jr. showing the bullpen some love when he rounds the bases. Does that get you excited? Kansas City, your guy McCarthy. Trev, you talked about his swing last time. He had the go-ahead sac fly. And Singer, I keep telling you, draft him next year in fantasy baseball. He's figured it out. Zach Gallen with 6 shutty too. And that's more or less what happened in the interleague baseball. Thanks, Zach. Trev, we already went through the standings, so we don't need to do that again. Again, a couple 2 games of teams not around the playoffs. Can't really do that dance. I think the 2 things that are important here, Subway Series, always important, good energy. Yankees look like they've gotten out of their funk. And then the Guardians, dude, they take 2 from the Padres, which still, again, those 2-game interleagues do nothing for me. More so, it's that the Twins got swept and the White Sox stay mid, that the Guardians full-blown control the AL Central after I was pretty tough to that front office.
You were.
I was, dude, because I loved everything they had going on. I thought they
could. But
it
wasn't just this year you're mad at. You're mad at overall how they handle things.
I still think there could be a couple things here and there which would make them even be more scary, but we need to talk about them. It looks like they're going to win the AL Central and a little Subway Series too. So which one would you prefer to start with?
Let's go Cron Pod. Let's go Mets Yankees, which was supposed to be a cakewalk for the Mets, although they did not end up throwing DeGrom in the second game. But Herman versus Scherzer, and Herman outdueling Max Scherzer is something of note. And then Frankie coming and doing his thing, which is nice, I'm sure, for Yankee fans to see. I think that 9th inning was really something. Clay Holmes was struggle bus. and then Peralta had to come in and get Lindor. And I was watching that at bat. It was bases loaded, right? When he came in.
Wandy.
And what's that? Yeah, Peralta, yeah. So, he's got a couple pitches, like fastball, changeup. Those are his primary pitches.
Fastball, changeup. He's got a little slider that's improved this year. And just correcting you from before is Clark. They were throwing Clark out there.
Sorry.
Yeah. You're good.
What I meant. Clark. So third pitch, he goes 3 times in a row to Lindor because they're smart. They understand. Like Lindor has probably eliminated that pitch essentially. So they start one out as a get me over. He gets that first strike. And then he throws another good one. I think Lindor swung through that one. Throws the third one, and Lindor's too good of a hitter to, see 3 in a row and not barrel the ball. And Wandy left it up a little bit, hits it right down the line for the foul ball, ends up getting Lindor out. But I think it was a really cool series. And I like that there was at least some pressure-packed moments there at the end. And I like when different pitchers have to come in to pressure situations. I don't think Wandy's going to be at the back end of many games for you guys, unless it is like a straight up like matchup based thing. But for him to come through is pretty cool.
Yeah, one of the jokes we've had on Talking Yanks recently, because the Yankees bullpen hasn't been what you picture the Yankees bullpen. Wandy Peralta is their get out of jail guy. Like he's the guy you bring into bases loaded, no outs, and he's got a chance to get out of it. Like I think in that situation, he's gotten like 3 tappers back to the pitcher. He likes the moment. He is that guy. And he's kind of been their lefty specialist this year, which
that's what I mean. Yeah.
If you're in the Yankees postseason, he's holding lefties to a 119 batting average, a 357 OPS, which is funny because he originally was basically fastball changeup. He was kind of like a reverse splits guy because the changeup worked well on righties. Yeah, the Yankees, knock on wood, and I have the advantage of knowing what happened last night. It looks like they're getting out of their skid, and it's just a matter of how strong they're going to finish. Huge start by Montas. If he had thrown up another stinker, especially with Jordan Montgomery doing what he's doing, which you might hear about in a minute, that would have become a thing. Oswaldo Cabrera, they called up the kid. It hasn't fully clicked with the bat, except last night, but we're not talking about that. But he's playing every position. Such good energy. And Trev, it's one of those funny things. We look at our parents, and it's, what traits have you gotten from your parents? And some things we appreciate, some things we don't. Talked to my pops last night. It was a good catch-up. And we talked a little bit of Yankees. And he phrased it perfectly. I can't believe it. He goes, Oswaldo Cabrera, he comes alive when he's on a baseball field. And that's who he is. And you see it. You see it in his energy. Benintendi starting to go has been massive. And yeah, the tune in Yankee land has changed as they start their West Coast trip. And if you're the Mets, I mean, it sounds easy for me to say on the other side of it, but you can't be freaked out by this. I mean, it was supposed to be Scherzer DeGrom, then it's not Scherzer DeGrom. Max didn't have his best stuff on this day. And more importantly, Timmy Trumpet will throw out the first pitch on the Mets game coming up Tuesday, so get ready for that. Big news, yeah. You want to talk about the Guardians a little bit, Trev? The AL Central leading Guardians. Oh.
If the chat is correct, I believe Passan just announced that there are options on the Julio deal to make it 16 and 18 years.
What?
But I would double check that. I'm just reading the chat right now.
Let's see. Yeah, 39 seconds ago. The option is for 8 or 10 years on top of the original deal, depending how Rodriguez fares in MVP voting. It can range anywhere from $200 to $350 million. If the Mariners pick up the option, Rodriguez is guaranteed $320 million. If the Mariners don't pick up the option after year 7, Rodriguez has a player option. Yeah, I mean, we got a fancy one. So basically, he could hit free agency right before his 30th birthday, or he could be a Mariner as long as I'm alive.
What the fuck, man?
Would have loved to be.
I gotta dive into this. This is we can't react in real time to this. I need to go and check all these numbers. It's still we did our reaction. I think we had a stake with it, but
maybe that'll be a midweek. We can follow up when we have some more numbers. But Trev, give the Guardians some love, the love they deserve, as the Twins look like they're dying and the Mid Sox continue their ways.
I think I was talking to Rosie about it. He went and saw him play down in San Diego, and they're just pesky offensively. They have a few guys that can drive the ball. We know what Jose Ramirez can do, and Josh Naylor's got some pop and stuff like that, but they just wear you out as a fucking pitcher, man. They're fouling balls off, extending at bats. They just kind of play a little bit differently, and then they've got the pitching too. I mean, I didn't think offensively they could hold up. I think that was the biggest thing when we were looking at this team. As a whole, as a roster, which you kind of have to do. Like, hey, the pitching can be there. We know that for sure. But is the hitting going to hold up enough to stave off the White Sox, who we thought were going to be a juggernaut? And don't fucking laugh at me, people. Everybody thought the White Sox were going to be good.
Yeah.
And on paper, they're still good. I don't know, man.
Just call them dead. Call them dead, and we're home.
There were some cool quotes. They were talking about Ramirez, Terry Francona. Was talking. He had his 20th career multi-homer game, and Francona said, "I'm glad he's in our uniform every day because he plays the game right. He's not always going to hit 2 home runs, but he shows up every day and gives you an honest effort." Quantrill had some other awesome things to say about him. But so you have that cornerstone there. You have a guy that is going to show up, and he plays both sides of the ball very well.
Yeah.
When you have that, I think it takes a little pressure off all the other guys. He's the guy. And everyone else can just do our jobs, whatever we're supposed to do. And that's what good organizations do. And that's what they tell players is you're on this team to be you. You're not on this team to be somebody else. Like, hey, Quan, we don't need you to hit for power, bro. Like, we need you to do what you do well. And I think they've all kind of found roles in that offense and on this team. And they're rolling with it, man. And they look good, and they are going to be tough in the playoffs. Like, I don't think they, on paper, stack up against some of these other teams, but put them in the box and have them, have 5-6 pitch at bats, 7 pitch at bats every time up against pitchers, and starts to wear on people for a while. So go Guardians, go. I'm not declaring the White Sox dead, but the expression I like to use is 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel.
Yeah, and it looks like they've. I know John wanted us to talk about their schedule a little bit. A funky thing coming up. They have both their Mariners series coming up, so those are 2 teams around the playoffs that are teeing off against each other. That could be interesting if one of those teams gets hot against each other, with the Orioles in between. And then the Twins. The Twins have 2 series with the Guardians left, and the White Sox have 4 games. So when you talk about controlling your destiny, the Guardians have full control. We always think of Guardians pitching. Their hitting's arguably been better than their pitching throughout the year, but they get strong performances on any given day from their rotation. The back end of their bullpen has settled in. Trevor, I forget if it's Steven or Stefan, former Yankee farmhand, Emmanuel Clase. We talk about him a lot. It's a good team, and we've said it all year, and these teams don't deserve for us to say it, but I wonder if someone will challenge the Guardians the rest of the way or not. Currently, it looks like not, but you kind of hope the baseball gods kick in just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Everyone's telling me I need to declare the White Sox dead. I'm just not doing it. People don't do that.
Maybe we're saving it for awards. People, I think you guys know I love talking every team. I love baseball so much. Rangers, Rockies, I really don't have much for you in a 2-game split. D-backs, Royals, same thing. Even Rodon and Matt Manning shoving against each other. Giants, Tigers. A couple weird interleague ones. I think, Trev, unless you have final notes, I think what's dead may never die.
Yep. Shout out Cole Irvin. 7 shutty, 11 case.
Swole Irvin. Trev, let's head to the standouts because there's a lot of guys that deserve some love, and we'll do it the rest of the way. And those are brought to you by Shady Rays. I just threw mine on. they've become an everyday thing for me. They cover up everything that's wrong with me. Everyone gives me compliments on my Shady Rays. And, people, they're giving you a real deal. At ShadyRays.com, use code TALKIN. You'll get 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized shades. I'll be completely honest with you. Since Shady Rays has joined us, they've swept our office. Like, everyone has 2 pairs of Shady Rays, basically because of this deal. Every pair is also backed by their lost and broken replacement guarantee. These very pair I am wearing, there is a broken pair out in the office. I put it in the middle of the office, and I said, let's put Shady Rays to the test. They sent me these. I wear them every day. Every day. So thank you, Shady Rays. Get some for yourself. Get some for your loved ones. And with code TALKIN at ShadyRays.com, get 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized shades. Thank you, Shady Rays. You guys are the best in the game. Good people. Go check them out for yourself or a loved one in your life. ShadyRays.com, code TALKIN. 50% off 2+ pairs. Trev, I will go first on my standout. Maybe it's a multiple stand. How about this? I know how I'm going to give an assist and a goal. Unless you're taking Justin Verlander, he's going to be my assist. Because he goes 6 innings, 10 Ks. Is this no hits? That can't be right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's disgusting, man. It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah, 6 innings, no hits, 10 Ks. And guess what? He doesn't even care. It's not like I'm going to go get the no-hitter. I don't care. I've got those in the bag. Boring. His ERA lowers from 1.95 to 1.87. He's not even my standout because it's going to Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery is a guy I'm very familiar with. He came up for the Yankees in 2017. That's when we started doing everything, talking Yanks, John Boy Media. He had a really nice rookie season, and he's been good for the Yankees. He's now got a career 101 starts, a 3.76 ERA. It's just solid. Like, his good is pretty good. Like, he could shut you out on a given day. He also battled through starts. He's got a big pitch mix, so he's finding it a lot. In St. Louis, he gets traded at the deadline. It surprises every Yankee fan because he can't have enough pitching, right? That's the old phrase in baseball. He's gone over 4 starts, 25.2 innings, and he's only given up 1 run, and it is the cherry on top is a complete game shutout against the Chicago Cubs. By the way, a 1-0 game. So it's not like this was a 9-0 and Monty was just out there twirling it. 1-0. You make 1 pitch and it's a tied game. He only gives up 1 hit, 7 Ks. I couldn't be happier for the dude. He's got the beard growing in, a classic getaway from the Yankees, grow out the beard. And it is his first complete game. The Yankees really even never gave him the chance to do that. The Cardinals are happy. He is currently like the best trade deadline acquisition, statistically. At least there's not really an argument. And be happy for the guy. A pretty chill South Carolina guy. He turns on that mean streak on the mound when he needs it. He was kind of CeCe's understudy on the Yanks. And the big lefty has found a home in St. Louis. He's been disgusting. And, it's one of those weird things. You're happy for a good guy, but as a Yankee fan, you're also like, we could use that in an August where we've just been getting rocked by teams, hopefully out of it now. But shout out Jordan Montgomery with the assist from Verlander, who could get it every week. But good for Gumby.
Love it. I'm going to go with not just one game because there was more games involved with the player that I'm going to give my standout performance. Corey Dickerson, former teammate of mine, 10 for 10. He ends up going 11 for 14 with a triple, 3 doubles, and 2 RBI, 10 hits, and 10 consecutive at bats.
That's nuts.
Now you go 4 for 4. That's nice. You feel real good about yourself. Well, he did that on Tuesday. You go 4 for 4 the next game. You're 8 for 8. Wow. I'm going to get out soon. Well, no, the first 2 at-bats of the following game, he gets 2 hits, 10 for 10. And I love some quotes afterwards. You know, he had a calf injury. I played with Corey. This guy, he's a baseball rat. It's all he cares about. Comes back for the injury. He says he's trying to get just better swings off, swing with more intent. And he says, it's nice to see that I can still carry a baseball team. That is a really good feeling for a player to have. I want everyone to go back and just look. I mentioned this before briefly on Talking Baseball. He is the guy that if he doesn't get a hit, he'll go change his batting gloves or his cleats or his bat wrap, like his grip to his bat. He'll go just change it. He's just one of those people. That's what he does. I'd be very curious to see. I didn't go back and look at this. I guarantee he had the same exact batting gloves, the same exact cleats, and the same exact bat for those 10 for 10. And then the bat that he didn't get a hit, I bet you he changed. I'd be willing to bet money on it, people.
Love that.
So I love the quirkiness of the whole, situation. It's a very good word to describe Corey, but he's also a rat. I love my baseball rats.
You love your baseball rats. That's why you love me.
Like the Cardinals fucking need anybody else doing shit like that.
Yeah, right? And by the way, Trev, that was a great point. Like, being able to be a guy that could carry your team through a weekend, through a series, and be the dude, that's a really cool feeling. And so for him to feel that along with the rest of the Cardinals lineup, that's awesome. And I forgot to mention it with Monty. It was technically a Maddox, which people like a lot. 99 pitches. 99
Somebody else
pitches.
just did that like 2 days before. Who was it?
It's becoming sexier, man. Baseball went from strike out as many guys as you possibly can to like, oh, wait, innings do matter. So if you can get a quick out, that's important. Trev, good standout. There's a lot, again, ton of guys that could have gotten it. Paul Goldschmidt, Jesus, every day. Hey,
he's a joke.
Let's hammer out a little Slump Watch. Zach likes when I make noises. Slump Watch. Let's get these boys hot. Speaking of your guy, Trev, Andrew McCutchen, 0 for 11. That too will pass. That's going to pass soon. Yachty, a little 0 for 11 after checking on his basketball team. That was something. Rowdy Tellez. What was that? Rowdy Tellez, 0 for 10. Hey, get it going. Big homestand, Rowdy. Joey Wendell, 0 for 10. And Cal Raleigh, our guy, Big Dumper, 0 for 9. He'll get it going.
Joey Wendell date your daughter?
Joey
guy.
Joey Wendell's like
nice guy.
Joey Wendell's like a date my niece.
His hands are too callousy.
Yeah.
Get those calloused hands off my daughter.
Let's go to Fuego. Zach, I think you got it over there.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Trev, whenever it's All-Stars only, I like hearing Fuego come from you.
Oh, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned Corey Dickerson, 11 for 14, triple, 3 doubles, and 2 RBIs. Jose Ramirez, I also talked about him. 4 for 7, 2 homers, 4 RBI, and a walk. Your guy, Aaron Judge, he's good. He had 2 more homers, goes 4 for 8. He has 3 RBI. Nate Lowe, God, I have to think about that every single time. 4 for 10, 2 homers, a triple, 8 RBIs. That's nice. Trey Mancini, 4 for 11, 2 homers, a double, 6 RBI. Jose Altuve, 6 for 10. JT Realmuto, 6 for 12. Alex Bregman, been hotter than the sun, 5 for 9, a homer, a double, 3 ribbies. And Christian Walker, did we talk about him enough? 5 for 9, a homer, a double, and 2 RBI. And that, my friends, is who's on Fuego. And Paul Goldschmidt, who is
always.
He is the sun.
He is the sun. You mentioned Bregman in there. He's really been going lately. His numbers are starting to get to Alex Bregman, what you expect them to be territory, and that's pretty cool because it's kind of been since 2019 since he's been full tilt there. His OPS is up to 847. Christian Walker's good, and yeah, Aaron Judge is on pace to beat the home run record, people, so get in tune with that. Which brings us to...
No.
Zach, there is an awards button on there. Awards! Yeah! I never know.
It's like a shot of espresso at the end of the show that we need.
We do need that. We love Kelsey. Go Rocks. Trev, I'll go first. Cause I went first and then I punted and Fuego to you. And it's kind of
hey, just before you wipe that chocolate ice cream.
Okay. And it's a tribute to Zach, because my guy Zach is here. And if people that know John Boy Media know Zach's a little dark, he's a music guy. He's a real rock cat. Check out Crooked Ways. I am giving out the Freak on a Leash Award.
Wow.
Popular Korn song. Yeah.
Does Zach like Korn? I don't think so.
Zach, do you like Korn?
Not a big Korn fan.
No, obviously.
Yeah,
not.
I'm not. Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
Not. But it's what they represent.
Sure.
No, I mentioned earlier on in the program, Trev, that there's a guy. I said I was going to give out a Pittsburgh Pirates award, and that's because O'Neal Cruz hit the hardest ball that's ever been hit in baseball history. Whenever the New York Yankees play, sometimes I talk about the fans being spoiled because Giancarlo Stanton has the hardest hit ball pretty much every year the past 6 years or something like that. Aaron Judge hits balls as hard as anyone on the planet. O'Neal Cruz hit one a $122. It's the hardest hit ball of the StatCast era. It's the hardest hit ball of the StatCast era.
Did he break his own record?
I think Stanton had it.
Okay.
But O'Neal Cruz, and it hasn't been the prettiest rookie season. The stats don't jump off the page at you. But if you remember, early on this year, he had the hardest throw of the StatCast
that's what it was.
era. He's 6'7". He's playing shortstop. This guy is unreal. He's the 199 batting average. That's not too flashy, but he's got some steals. He's got 10 homers on the year in 52 games. He is a rookie still, and he's 23 years old. Hey, guys develop along different paces, especially when you got as many moving parts as a 6'7" guy. But this guy, I always talk about it I talk about it here. I talk about NFL when you see Tyreek Hill run, or NBA when you see someone who's Giannis or whatever. That's O'Neal Cruz, man. I mean, this dude is a freak, and I hope, maybe he has a strong last month to finish, but this guy can be a star of stars, especially when Pittsburgh hopefully hits their stride in a couple years, and maybe he can be a Julio Rodríguez type guy, because his talent is... Scouts, they grade players. This is a guy that I don't know how you grade other players compared to him, because he hits and he throws harder than anyone who's ever played the game in the infield. So a shout out to O'Neal Cruz. And hey, a little Pirates love at the end of the ep, babe.
He is, I guess that is a pretty good award to give him. Freak in a good way.
Oh, good. I'm a good freak guy, Trev.
Good freak.
Yeah.
I love watching him play. And yeah, I get it. The overall numbers may not be where they need to be, but this is a guy who's playing on a very bad team, getting his feet, wet in the big leagues. I am excited to see what he does next year with a clean slate.
Right. He's getting his feet wet. It happens differently for all rooks.
Okay.
What's your award?
I'm going to give my award, and you guys got to bear with me because you guys know I'm more Lord of the Rings than Game of Thrones.
Right.
But I'm going to give the Mountain award. Okay. It's a Game of Thrones reference. I don't know if you guys know who the Mountain is. He's Gregor. Why can't I say that?
Gregor Clegane.
Clegane. I kept wanting to put a C in there. Thank you for that, Jakey boy. He ends up battling, I think, the Viper in that series. Viper's going to kill him. He starts slashing him down. Well, Mountain doesn't die very easily. That's one of the best scenes in all of Game of Thrones, when he reaches up and pulls the Viper's eyeballs, or he pushes his eyeballs through his head. Excuse me. He doesn't pull them out. He pushes his eyeballs through his head. And that was when I was like, Game of Thrones is a completely different type of television show to watch. My goodness. But in the end, he gets very harmed in that battle. And Qyburn, who is Cersei's like mad scientist, if you will, kicked out of the Citadel for performing, experiments on humans. He knows how to do Frankenstein type things. He ends up, basically doing that to Gregor and turning him into just an absolute killing machine.
Yeah.
Okay. God, that scene when he pushes the eyeballs through is something.
Trev, you're speaking
I'm gonna go watch that later.
You're speaking my love language, man. Fuck the Martells, the Dornish, all they do is fight and fuck. I'm a Dornish man.
You are. You be spinning around talking shit like you're gonna kill the mountain, and then all of a sudden
I'd
he
get
pokes your
fucked up.
eyeballs through the back of your head. Andrew Heaney, you are the mountain. People have been trying to fix Andrew Heaney for quite some time. There are some advanced metrics that just love this guy. The Yankees said, I want him. Matt Blake, do your thing. Jake, how did that turn out for them?
Not so well, to be honest.
No, turns out Matt Blake is not Qyburn. Turns out the Dodgers are Qyburn. Because this dude just went and struck out 10 dudes for the second straight starts. Yes, he gave some runs on some homers to Milwaukee in the previous start, but his numbers overall in the season are disgusting. And it was just a few little tweaks the Dodgers had to make. They figured it out. They put him in the middle of the rubber. They loved his arm slot. He has the arm slot that Hader had, that Hader's lost. It's that sidearm arm slot that's low that gives the effect of the rising fastball because he's got good spin on his fastball. He's like a 90th percentile in baseball on his spin on his fastball. So he's coming from that low arm angle to the top of the zone, and it just rides. And as a hitter, you've seen a million pitches, and the ones that do that are just a little bit different. They don't drop down as much, so your bat path is fucked. You have to make a complete adjustment against those guys. A legitimate mechanical adjustment to hit guys like that. It's very difficult to do during the regular season. So he does those two things. Middle of rubber, continues to throw at that arm slot, and then using that rising fastball, if you will. And then he does what the Yankees wanted him to do, turns the breaking ball into a sweeping slider. And he's just turned into another one of these pieces for the Dodgers to use, a swing man. He can come in and make a start if you need him to do that. He can be a long guy in the pen, a piggyback situation during the postseason. And I know Heaney, and Heaney is about as far away from like a bad guy, wrong side, you're with Cersei type of dude. He's like the nice guy, the guy you want to root for, but they've turned him into this person, this executioner. And I love every second of it. And I think if he goes out and does what he has to do the rest of the season and then the postseason, he's going to be looking at a hefty payday, hopefully from the Dodgers again or anybody. And I think it's well-deserved. He just, the code needed to be cracked a little bit with this guy, and it seems like the Dodgers have figured it out. So shout out Andrew Heaney, shout out the mountain, and shout out those eyeballs, baby. What happened to the eyeballs?
I'm so
They get turned to mush?
I'm so happy you realize that I am a person from Dorne, very flashy, sex and fighting, will die. And I loved how late into that you referenced Cersei after about 3 minutes of pure baseball. That was beautiful. Zach was giggling. Yeah, man. And hey, Yankee fans were brutal to the Heen dog. He was very bad. I know even our guy Sales Luke, John's little brother, had some tough words for Heaney, and he wasn't that guy. And you grabbed Luke, and you're like, you would love Heaney. He's like a cool dude.
He's awesome.
Yeah. But it's funny. That's how sports work sometimes. And yeah, I hope Heaney has a big postseason moment, and I hope he gets a payday. And hopefully, like you're also saying, it's with the right team. It's with the Dodgers or a Rays that they can continue to tap into that so he can be successful. So I love it. A little game of bones.
You guys, when he would even come in the game, it'd be like, no.
It was tough for a little bit. It was tough. I mean, Zach's a Yankee fan. Zach, how tough did the Heen dog get for just a little bit?
It got scary. He was in a tough spot, but he's good now.
He's good. And Zach's a sweet guy, so for him to say that. Zach, we need to wrap it up, and we wrap it up with our best friend of the week, who you can announce is one of Trev's close friends. If you have it there, or do you want me to announce it? I can announce it.
No, you should say it.
It's Max Fried. I think he's a 4-time winner of best friend of the week. 5-time, which makes him the leader. 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run. And then Trev, sometimes these episodes we get a little wonky, and sometimes we forget it's Friday, and we forget Zach is behind the wheels.
Whoa.
It is Zach Stimulator time, Big Z.
Hit that fucking music, Zach.
Okay.
Zach, you want me to tee it up for you?
You can tee it up.
Okay,
I've got
well,
my sheet open here.
why don't you, Zach, just run it, baby. Who do we have in the wild card games to start it out? In the American League. Let's do that.
We're
In
off
the
to a great
American
start,
League,
baby.
Wild card games is the Guardians and the Mariners.
Ooh!
And the Stimulator has the Mariners
Wow.
upsetting the Guardians.
Sorry, Guardians. We just gave you some love. Doesn't matter.
Our other wild card matchup in the American League is the Rays and the Blue Jays.
Yep.
An AL East matchup. And the Rays move on.
Okay. I have it up
Ray's
now.
going
Wow.
Ray.
Jays get got. Okay, so in that scenario, in the ALDS, the Mariners and the Yankees
Yes.
would face off, Zach. Who's the Stimulator have there?
Stimulator has the Yankees going forward
That's huge.
in that matchup.
That's huge for the Yankees. And then in the bottom half, who will the Yankees meet in the CS between the Astros and the Rays? Ooh, there's a little blood there.
Oh, yeah. But you know that what has more blood than the Astros and the Rays
Okay.
is the Astros and the Yankees
Wow.
in the CS.
Wow. The Stimulator is dialed today. Yankees and Astros in the CS. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let the people think about that
Ooh.
one. And
Okay.
We'll,
Let that sit.
we'll let that sit. We'll go to the
That's an
National
easy one
League.
for me.
The Cardinals and the Padres would face off as of today.
Right. And this Stimulator on this day has the Cardinals beating the Padres.
Okay. I like it. Cards have the good juice right now. The Braves and Phillies. One of these teams is going to be eliminated and face each other. Wow. Stimulate.
Stimulator says Braves. Move on.
Tough. Phillies. Brutal. All right, your division series. The Cardinals and the Mets
Yes.
would face off.
Stimulator likes the Mets in that
Yeah.
combination. Yeah.
Mets, if they can set up their rotation. I see what the Stimulator sees. And then the Dodgers and the Braves. Again, another series with a little bit of blood.
See the Braves moving on.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Trev had the hat on. We just gave Heaney too much love. All right, your CSs.
Yes.
Yankees, Astros, Mets, Braves. Ho! Who do you have? Excuse me. What does the Stimulator have in the AL, Zach?
In the AL, it's an upset for the Yankees. The Astros go on to the World
Oh,
Series.
Yes!
my goodness,
Yes!
Zach. I shouldn't have done that corn
Yes!
thing. I feel like that threw it off. The
That was bad
Astros,
for you.
the Astros are going to the World Series. And the Mets and the Braves, NLECS. Who do you have?
It's a rematch of last year's World Series. It's the Astros and the Braves.
We were so close to a Subway Series, and now we've got neither of them. The Astros and the Braves are running it back in your 2023 Stimulator champions on August 26th.
Can you believe it? It's a repeat. The Braves win.
Whoa! Peter Moylan is dancing. He's probably topless on TV somewhere.
It's all for Peter.
Unbelievable.
Hit the passing button. Hit it
Passing,
right now.
Passing.
Tyler Glass now, 1-year contract extension, 25 million smackaroos. Glassy, on you, baby.
Wow, we gotta link up with the big fella. Congrats to Tyler Glass now. Congrats to Julio Rodríguez. Congrats to the Atlanta Braves on winning the Stimulator. All-star only episode. Zach, Trev, myself. Trev, anything else before we go?
My youth team is the Scranton Rail Riders. We're going to dominate the Fall League, baby.
Watch out. Watch out. Shout out to my guy, Tyler Wade. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Zach, for filling in. We will see you guys on Monday Love you guys so much. Let's have a weekend, babe.
Ray's gonna Ray. Jake sucks.
Oh, that was a big one. Right at the end. Just snuck it in there.